Hey everybody, it's Dr. Rick. Look, I'm dropping in on you. I'm always dropping in and I'm hitting you with all the heavy stuff that's going on. We just had an unbelievable segment on our first episode of Cries of a Nation, where we talked about the impact of incest in the black community. And I'm sitting up here and I'm just sitting up and just had a little engagement with one of the kids via text message. And it just triggered a whole bunch of thoughts. And I'm sitting up, I'm like, look, I'm going to drop this off. Something a little bit lighter, but something to make you think. Something to give you pause and actually make you think, what the hell is wrong with these kids these days? You know, I grew up in an era where mom said do something, you did it. I grew up in an era where we were happy almost all the time. I mean, I grew up in an era where there was poverty, but most of the kids were still happy. We went outside, we played. We had fun with one another. We engaged one another. These kids stuck in the house, all around, all up in your private grown folks' business because they won't leave the house. They won't go outside and mingle. They won't do anything with their friends except the things they don't supposed to do with their friends. They stay with an attitude and call everybody bro. Everybody, male, female, don't matter. It's bro. Sit up and constantly upset, don't want to do nothing, don't want to have anything to do, but they're your best friend when they need something. They don't want you to ask them nothing, don't want you to say nothing to them, but when they need you to take them somewhere, which is all the damn time, all of a sudden, they get the little sweet tone in their voice. The real nice little sweet tone, like I don't remember you just rolled your eyes at me. You know, I get real petty with my kids. No, you roll your eyes at me, you need to go find that person that rolled their eyes and figure out what they would do in a situation like that, because whatever they would do is what you got to do. You can't play that with me. But I'm telling you, it blows my mind. They have a sense of entitlement. They, you know, what's up with the whole, you know, you got to beg them to clean anything. You know, one of the rules of the house, ain't nothing clean, ain't nothing happening. Don't ask me for nothing. You ain't going nowhere. None of that until your chores are done. These kids don't even know what chores are. You give them chores, they act like you're a slave driver. Here's the thing. We better start preparing these kids for the real world. We better start preparing them kids because the real world doesn't care that you don't feel like it. The real world doesn't care whether you're having a bad day. You're going to show up or you won't eat. You're going to sit up and follow the rules or you're going to get hemmed up. These kids, I mean, and then, man, the eye rolling is on a whole nother level. When I was growing up, I done seen a minute little girl get popped right upside the head for the eye rolling and the neck rolling. Ain't having it. And whatever happened to yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am? What? Who the hell are you talking to? Huh? I'm like, no. How about sir? It's a respect thing. It's a respect thing. Yes and no, not yeah. I mean, shit, I couldn't even say yes growing up. If it wasn't followed by a sir or ma'am, it was a problem. And I'm not about, don't get me wrong now, I'm not about having my kids be afraid of me. I don't want my kids to be afraid of me. I want my kids to be able to come tell me anytime there's something going on in their life and trust that I'm not going to go flippant and crazy and do something, you know, throw it off, that they can trust me to actually engage it from a balanced perspective. They need to know at least that. So no, I don't want them to be afraid of me, but I want them to understand that the world is going to expect something of them and they should expect something of themselves. But, you know, when I'm sitting up and I'm talking away, I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then I sit up and I look at their friends and I go out and I engage other kids, and it's a whole freaking generation. Now, here's the thing that I found, and I'm done. I'm not going to stay long on this one, but I just had to come by and I had to talk about it because it's like really tripping me out. I deal with kids, right? I'm in the community. I'm in the community and I'm dealing with kids. I'm dealing with disadvantaged kids. I'm dealing with kids at risk. I'm dealing with the kids that wish they had what my kids have. I'm dealing with kids that wish they were in the life my children had. And guess what? They are more appreciative than my kids. They're more appreciative than the kids who don't know what the hood is, who don't know what growing up in the hood even, what it even looks like or feels like. Never had to be afraid to walk down the street. Never had to worry about being hemmed up by a gang or dealing with drugs on every corner. Don't know any of that. Don't know what it's like having a wine or hang out in the alley. None of that stuff like that, because they didn't grow up in that. And yet they can complain about every damn thing. I don't want that. I got a kid that you can take him shopping and ain't nothing in the whole damn mall he likes. I remember just being happy to have something brought home. I didn't get to go until I was a teenager shopping for my damn self. I didn't even get to go shopping. I got what was brought home to me, and I was happy about it. You know, we have lost our way. I think some of us have so overcompensated for what we didn't have as children. We have forgotten to give our kids some of the things that were real powerful that we did. And we've got to work on that. We've got to work on that. And so, I mean, I'm just sitting up and I'm thinking, and that popped into my head. And I'm going to try to do a little bit more of these, because every time I come, I'm coming with something so heavy, so serious. I'm just sitting up looking. If this little girl calls me bro one more time, y'all might have to send Dr. Rick some commissary money. One more time. And then, you ever get the idea that your kid looking at you, sizing you up? I'm like, little girl, why are you looking at me like that? Looking at you like, you know, they trying to figure out if they can take you. You don't want it. You know, the boys know better. You know, we got a 30-year-old and that's back at the house, and we got a almost 15-year-old boy at the house. They know better. They you know, they understand. But the girls never felt the wrath of the devil. Dad's never touched them. Dad's never put his hands on them in anger. So the idea is, you know, they looking at me feeling, hey, he old, he moving a little slower. He got the grade and grew in. And they looking at me like, you know, like they feeling some kind of way. Like, you know, they ready to try me. They sizing me up. And I'm like, you know, is she doing what I think she doing? You know, hey, you don't want to catch a square, little woman. But seriously, though, these kids don't have a clue. Totally blows my mind. Now, I want y'all to weigh in and tell me if this is just me, or have you seen the same thing and not with your kids, with someone else? On that note, I'm out.